the most helpful thing for me in kind of holding space for transformation. And I realized, I was like, whoa, like this is why I'm into plant medicine, is because I feel that plants are like the ultimate space holders. Like really, when you think about it, like they have been around longer than all of us, and they, I'm not going to claim to know like how or why and all those things of how we got here on this planet as a species, but um, what we do know, I think we all can agree that plants have been here before us, and they've been here for a long time, and they've been evolving and adapting, on this planet, and we have evolved and adapted with them as our witness, and um, yeah, them witnessing us, and I just think that's a really, really beautiful thing to acknowledge. And today, when I was out in the garden and just acknowledging that, acknowledging these plants that are coming back this spring, and they're all like so cute right now and little, and but acknowledging, how they've held space for me over time. And when I say hold space, like it comes from my belief that like each plant has a unique vibration, the same way that people have a unique vibration. When you meet someone, you can like get a feeling for them, and they might influence how you feel. I feel that plants have the same ability. It may be more subtle. It definitely is more subtle, I would say. Some plants are more subtle than humans or animals, but some of them, give us a boom, give us a bang. They can change our perception of reality. And so what I believe, and what I'm kind of trying to share here about the space holding, is with these unique vibrations, and is that with these unique vibrations, if we can tap into those, then that's where plant communication can happen. And I feel that that's how our ancestors were able to, sit with plants and know things about plants that scientists were only able to prove, thousands or hundreds of years later, which I've found really fascinating for a long time, as you may know, as I talk about plant communication. With these unique vibrations, they seem to want to help us with certain things, and a lot of plants are good for a lot of things, but then they have these particular things that they like to help with. And what's coming to mind right now is rose. And yeah, like when I think of rose, because I've used it as a medicine, I feel that I can invoke like the energy of rose, if you will, when it's not around, because I know that the feeling of it. It's like a friend. When you think about a friend and you're like, oh yeah, you get kind of happy. You're like, yeah. Um, I feel that, we can have this relationship with plants, and as we use a plant regularly, that we kind of build a stronger connection with it, and we become familiar with the vibration of it. And the more that we align with that vibration, it will help that particular part of ourselves that plant is kind of filling in the key for, or in the empty space for. It's the vibration is helping pick us up in that area, whether it's liver support or heart support or brain support or whatever it is, that the plants kind of go in and they help us remember, like they help our bodies remember what it feels like to have health, what it feels like to have high vibes in those different parts of ourselves. And I feel that that's why like people can have emotional reactions to plants, and um, uh, with the plant essences, people, swear that they have a reaction. And I feel like that's my theory of why it works, is like it's all a vibrational thing. And this vibration is kind of holding space. Like if we're not in that vibration, it kind of goes to that space or aligns with that space in our body and just like stays there and like hold space. And maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe in 3 months of taking this plant, then we will align with that vibration of health, and of the beauty and the subtlety that plants hold. And yeah, I wanted to share that because I feel I feel really inspired and really strong about that, and I just really want to encourage everybody to, develop their own relationships with plants and with plant medicine. And I think it also has to do with, um, small batch medicine, like the keeping the vibration pure and high. That's this is part of the reason why I make medicine and share it with the community, is because I feel really protective of the plant vibrations because they are so subtle and are so gentle, and I feel that they are affected the same way that we are, if they travel on airplanes or on boats, or if they sit on the store shelf for a long time, that they're being affected by all the vibrations and all the things around there. And I really feel that, like, to have the strongest potency and the strongest vibration to a plant is to have, like, the closest contact with it, whether that's, for me, that's picking it and, or growing it and doing all that stuff myself, or getting someone who I really trust to do that. It's not often that I buy plants from companies, and that's just because, like, I rather work with a plant that is accessible to me easily, and then I can get, like, closer to the source. And so for me, when I'm creating medicine for the community, it's about that. It's about trying to tap people into that, the high vibe that comes with having um a source that's not too far away from the product, is like, and that I can really trust and rely on, and it can be fresh. Um so I just keeping this in mind when you're choosing where you're getting your medicine from, and want to encourage you to try to grow some stuff, and over the next while, like, that's just what I'm gonna be here showing up and encouraging you to do. And I'll have different offerings and things, and I'm hoping to make more videos like this, but a little fancier too, um, just to share more of my thoughts and feelings and how-tos. It seems a lot of people are asking me, like, how to heal certain things in my inbox, and it feels kind of overwhelming to be honest, when someone is like, "How do you heal me?" And it's not what I am focusing on right now, like being a herbal practitioner in the way that I have clients, but I'm really happy to share the knowledge that I do have and encourage people to talk to other herbalists and have a strong relationship with other herbalists, because that the vibe that I'm talking about, that's part of what being a herbalist is kind of being the bridge between the plant world and the human world. And I feel like a herbalist can help you align with the right plant, right? Because that's what they're trained to do. They're trained in assessment, and they're trained in knowing people's, the different ailments that people get, and they're trained in knowing the plants that kind of match up with those things, and matching that to the particular vibration or personality, or dosha. There's a lot of different ways that people will categorize people, um, but there is certain plants that work better with certain people. And that's the job of a herbalist. And so I really encourage you to connect with a community herbalist, and someone who is working with plants in the area, or is growing their own, and really has a really strong connection, and and go from there, rather than try to figure it out on your own, or self-diagnosis and all that stuff. I think I'll make another video about self-diagnosis. But yeah. So happy spring, you guys, and I just hope that you can have a good time in these coming weeks and months and years. That can be a good time for you. So all the best.